Record? Okay. Hello, Crisis X2 Light here, and welcome to another part of Let's Play Pokemon Diamond Randomized. Now, in the last part, Crisis went and moved on to Jubilife City, where she was told that there's a trainer school. She also found the Pokemon Center, and she looked around, told her, and kind of showed us where the GTS is located at. In this part, though, Sisyrk, however, well, he's going to regret why cheating it doesn't always mean that you'll prosper. So with that said, let's dive right in. Seems kind of low, right? Hang on. My end seems kind of low. Uh, I'm just testing. Anyway. My hat feels like it's drooping a bit. So, yeah. We're back to Sisyrk. Remember, Sisyrk is the cheater. He cheated for everything. I'll show you again. And because he cheated for everything, he's gonna do some things to his team now. Oh yeah, forgot to put that licky tongue away. Let's check the stats of the licky tongue in. I forget. Oh, it's a docile nature, alright. Also, the music is different. So let's see. That's a good move. If you're wondering why I'm not going over these moves right here, there's a lot of moves, and that'll take me a long time to get through all of them. So I'll just go slowly through the list here and let you guys read them, so you can understand how they work. And I'll even let you see their stats as I go through them. Like I wasn't doing it before, but yeah, I'll probably let you see their stats if I want to. I'll show. I'm not gonna be, I'm not gonna be that kind of person. I'll read them to you. Let's start from the top of the list here. Okay, so we have Frustration here. As it says here, it's a full power attack that grows more powerful the less the user likes its trainer. In order to raise the power of the move Frustration, you have to use items like these down here. I'll show you guys. These items here, the energy powder, energy root, and let's see if the one I can find. It's at the bottom here, and the heal powder. These very bitter medicines actually make your Pokemon dislike you. So the more you use these, the more your Pokemon dislike you, and the stronger frustration gets. It also has no set power because the power is dependent on how much your Pokemon dislikes you. So there's that. Roar is basically, I don't want to see that Pokemon anymore. In a nutshell. The foe is scared off to be replaced by another Pokemon in its party. In the wild, the battle ends. It also has set accuracy, so there's a chance that it will fail. So there's that. Spite, the loser, of course. The user loses its grudge on the move last used by the foe by cutting 4 PP from it. It's a very dangerous move, to be honest. A lot of ghost types tend to have this move. Well, if you want your opponent to stop spamming status moves, you just keep hitting them with Spite until they have no more PP. Growth, as it says here, is that it raises the special attack stat. In later generations, Growth was given the extra option now of raising both attack and special attack, so it's much better off. Excuse me. Sweet Scent attracts wild Pokemon. In later generations, you can use it to attract horde encounters, like in Generation 6. Force Palm causes paralysis. It has a chance of causing paralysis because it hits the opponent with the palm of the hand. Hammer Arm these are also fighting type move, by the way, obviously by the orange disc. Hammer Arm drops a giant fist onto the opponent to do great damage, but it cuts your speed when you use it. Quick Attack goes first. Present does damage that's at set intervals and also has a chance of restoring HP too when you hit it on the foe. Seismic Toss is a pretty dangerous level because it does damage, as it says there, equal to the user's level. So if you're like level 100, it does 100 damage. Draco Meteor is a very powerful dragon type move that has the nasty little recoil of dropping your special attack stat 2 levels. So if your Pokemon is not holding a white herb, or if you don't have anything to fix statuses like X items, yeah, you'll be in trouble if you keep spamming this move. So I wouldn't recommend spamming it. But it's a really, like I said, it's a really powerful dragon type move, 130 base power. Natural Gift does damage depending on the berry that the Pokemon is holding. You know, it's very determinable. I'm not a fan of this one. Ember is a fire type move, a very early fire type move that will cause a burn. Nasty Plot raises your special attack stats. So if you have this alongside Draco Meteor, you can actually make Draco Meteor a heck of a lot more powerful. But it'll also reduce your special attack stat again, so flip-flop. Pain Split it's a rather complicated move. It says here that the user adds its HP to the foe's HP, then equally shares the combined HP with the foe. The H kind of gets cut off on the side there, but I don't really understand how this move works. It's a very complicated mathematical move here. Ice Fang has a chance of causing flinch or freeze. It's a very good move. Spike Cannon fires spikes at the foe 2 to 5 times in a turn. It says in rapid succession, but that's actually wrong. Because they may not hit 2 to 5 times in a row, unless of course you have an ability that allows it to be a thing. I think Technician. So yeah, Dynamic Punch. If it lands, it causes confusion. Seed Bomb is basically just your box standard grass type move. Doesn't have any other effects besides hitting the foe hard with seeds. 80 base power. Barrage is basically Spike Cannon. You know, that's all it is. Bullet Punch is basically Barrage, but a steel type. I want you to know I was wrong. It's basically a steel type quick attack. My bad. It's a steel type quick attack, and it's really good if your Pokemon is slower than a snail. Night Slash is a dark type move that has a high critical hit ratio. I actually do love Night Slash. Iron Tail is a steel type move that is basically a steel type version of It's basically a steel type version of Tail Whip that does damage and has a chance of lowering the opponent's defense stat. 100 base power is a really great thing. Pedal Dance is a grass type move that hits 2 to 3 turns and then confuses between 2 and 3 turns, or after 3 turns. If your opponent happens to use a 2-turn move that involves them kind of like not being on the battlefield, i.e. fly or dig, and Pedal Dance misses, then you get confused a lot earlier. It doesn't say it there, but yeah, you get confused a lot earlier if your opponent uses fly or dig. Or, what's that ghost type move? I forgot what it's called. I'll look it up later. It's a ghost type move that makes you disappear, so yeah. Confuse rate causes confusion. Me first just means that that you take that instead of your opponent attacking before you attack, you go first. It's rather a weird move. Spit up sounds gross. No, but spit up does damage depending on how many times you use the move stockpile. So if you use stockpile 3 turns in a row and then you use spit up, it does a lot of damage. See, that doesn't have set damage here, but it does a lot of damage. Magnitude does random damage. It's an RNG ground type move, so you know it goes up to 10. But like I said, I have never seen a magnitude 1. I think rarely does that ever happen. I know it happens, but just very rare that it does. Because I've only seen magnitude 2, 3, 4, up to 10, but I have not seen a magnitude 1. Huh. Someone should send me a video of magnitude 1 happening. I would like to see that. But yeah, it's basically an RNG ground type move. Crush Grip is a really weird name for a move. It says the foe is crushed with great force. The attack is more powerful the more HP the foe has left. Very, very strange move this is. Never used this move at all. It's very dependent on HP there too. Water Gun is your water type move. Mirror Shot is basically a really good steel type move that has a chance of cutting the foe's accuracy. It's nice. It's a nice little flashy move. Drill Peck is just a stronger version of Peck. Whirlwind is the same thing as Roar. Recover restores your HP by up to half of it, so it's a pretty nice. Oh, sorry about that. It's a pretty nice recovery type move if you need it. Stealth Rock does damage to foes that switch into battle. All right. It doesn't do damage as soon as you use the move. It only does damage to foes switching in. That means that if you're up against a Pokemon that's known for fleeing, i.e. the legendary beast Pokemon, Raikou, Entei, or Suicune, and you'll use this move, it's not going to affect them at all. They're just going to run without taking damage from the move. So don't believe what some people say. It's not true. It says it right there on the tin. Self-destruct means you go bye-bye. For 200 power. It's a really situational move. A lot of people like using this move. I'm not a big fan of it though. Skull Bash. Now that's a good move here. This move says that your Pokemon tucks in its head on the first turn to raise its defense and then hits your foe. It's a nice move if you want to quickly raise your defenses without using items like X Defend or something, but it's situational. That's what I'm looking for. Sleep Powder, you put your foe to sleep. I don't know, but that description kind of bothers me. Why is sleep and inducing one word? Is it always like that in the English language? I've been speaking English my whole entire life, and even now I'm kind of surprised of English terms. So let me know if sleep inducing should be one word or two, because that's gonna bother me for a while. This poisons your foe. Tail Whip cuts defense. Skill Swap takes the ability of the opponent you're battling and swaps it with the ability you have. Well, now, so you can see what ability they have if you're curious about that. It's a pretty nice thing to use if you're like doing like Dream World hunts and you want to know what ability each Pokemon has in a horde encounter. So Skill Swap is nice. Psybeam. Oh, Psybeam's a nice psychic type move. Fires a peculiar ray that may cause confusion. So let's go ahead and give this one of our Pokemon. We're gonna give it to let's give it to Trico. I mean, why not add more Psychic type moves to Trico? Nah, I'm kidding. I'm not gonna do that. Trico already has Psychic and Mist Ball. We don't need to give it any more Psychic type moves. I was just messing. Mud Bomb is a pretty good, powerful ground type move. Also, if you can't look at the text real quick on the first line. The user launches a hard-packed mud ball to attack. The L kind of circles or kind of wraps around to the other side of the picture there. Like, I will show it to you with the mouse, but I don't have the mouse getting recorded on the feed, so just know that there is a typo with the description there above the oh, my hand is falling away, above the CD there. My eye is twitching. So yeah, there's that Mud Bomb. Mud Bomb. I thought I said it wrong. You know what? Because I thought I said it wrong, let's go ahead and teach that to one of our Pokemon. We're gonna give it to let's give it to Luxio, because I think Luxio has a really bad move pool. So take out Bide. Soft Boil cuts your own HP to heal like no, Soft Boil is basically recovered if you use it in battle. That it restores up to half your HP. If you use it in the field though, you can use it to heal the HP of any Pokemon on your party, but for a fraction of your own HP. Thunder Wave causes paralysis. Acupressure raises a random stat based on an RNG as well. So there's that. Punishment. It says the attack's power increases the more the foe has powered up with stat changes. So if your opponent uses something like Bulk Up, and then you use Punishment, it does more damage because, you know, they use Bulk Up. Grass Knot is situational. It says the heavier the foe, the greater the damage. So I don't know. Because I have had foes use it against my Snorlax and it doesn't do a lot of damage to it. So I don't know. Even though Snorlax is like 1k over the heavyweight limit. Milk Drink, it's the same thing as Soft Boil. Moving on. Splash. Octazooka, it does damage to you. It fires a ball of ink at your opponent, and it also has a chance of cutting their accuracy. It's basically a water type version of Mirror Shot, but I think it also has the same amount of power too. Here's a beautiful move, Ice Beam. I love Ice Beam, especially in the Metroid games. Yeah, you know I was gonna make that reference. And so because we have Ice Beam here, let's give it to Dratini. My favorite thing to do with the Dratini is to make them into like an elemental themed Pokemon, like having fire, ice, electric on them. Taunt stops your opponent from using status moves for a set number for 2 to 4 turns, so they can only attack. Rest means you take a nap. Guillotine. Ooh, this is a deadly move right here. It's also named after an actual guillotine in real life that was used to so yeah, that guillotines in real life were much more deadlier. They were used to execute people. I'll just say, instead of trying to be pantomiming or not pantomiming, instead of, you know, doing charades over here, I'll just tell you straight up, guillotines in real life were used to execute people, be they criminal or accused of wizardry or being a witch. You know, they'll have their heads chopped off, and then the heads will be held up as prizes for people to see. But in Pokemon, Guillotine, if you're higher level than the Pokemon you're fighting, will deal an instant KO to them, an OKO as it's called. Very deadly move. Double Team raises your evasion, so it's a pretty nice move if you want to make sure your opponent stops landing moves on you. Wood Hammer, ooh, this is a nice one. It says that the user sustains serious damage, but actually no, it's the damage you take back from the move is dependent on how much damage you did to the foe. So yeah, if you don't one-shot them, then it does a minimal amount of damage to the Pokemon who used it. I like the move, I really do. It's one of my favorite moves to give to my trademark Pokemon, Abomasnow. Yes, she's my trademark Pokemon. But I'll leave it off for now. Icy Wind. This is basically just an ice type, a very weak ice type form of ice beam that cuts the opponent's speed stats. So if you want to go first, use Icy Wind, and then you can go first. Shadow Claw. Ooh, I like Shadow Claw. It's basically a ghost type version of Night Slash with also a high crit. So there's that. Focus Energy. Yeah, I got that weird type on the first line again. Focus Energy raises your critical hit ratio. So if you use that alongside Night Slash or Shadow Claw, then you have a chance of hitting them harder because you increase your crit chance of these moves. Power Trick swaps your attack and defense with each other. So you can either do more damage while taking more damage, or you can just restore it back to normal. Whatever. Encore, it just locks your opponent to using the same move 2 to 6 turns in a row. But it's also an RNG based 2 to 6 thing. So if your opponent uses something like Tail Whip, and then you use Encore, then they get locked to using Tail Whip 2 to 6 turns, and they can't use any other attack besides Tail Whip. Avalanche. No, not the guys from Final Fantasy VII. This is an ice type move that does damage if the user has been hurt in the same turn. It does more damage like that. Mist means that your opponents can't reduce your stats for like 5 turns from the turn that's being used, basically. So if you use Mist on the first turn, then it counts that turn that Mist was used from, and then it counts it down from there. Like on turn 1, Mist gets used, and then turn 2, 3, 4, and then on the 5th turn, it ends. Seed Flare. This is a very special move. It's a signature move of the mythical Pokemon Shaman. Yeah, Shaman starts with this move already learned. It's a really powerful grass type move at 120 base power. It cuts the opponent's special defense stat too when it hits, which means that this 120 power will be going up every 10 points, 120, 130, 140, and so on. If your opponent continues to raise their HP, you can keep cutting their defense until you can basically one-shot them. Really gorgeous move. I'll save this move for later. Ring Out is basically the same thing as the previous move I just covered. My face keeps switching. Sorry about that. Ring Out is basically the same thing as the move Crush Grip. This is basically what they mean by Crush Grip, by the way. So then we have Mega Punch, which is just a very powerful punch. Not as strong as Mega Kick, by the way, but it does hit pretty hard. Peck. Aerial Ace is one of my favorite flying type moves, as it hits without failing. It's basically a flying type version of Swift, and I love it so much. It's also a physical flying type move. Unlike Swift, because Swift is special attack, this is physical. U-turn means that you slam into the opponent one turn, and then you switch out for any Pokemon that's waiting in the back of your team. I have encountered many AI characters that have known this move to try and swap Pokemon, and it always fails because they oftentimes have only one Pokemon in their party when they have this move. Not sure why that is. Slash is just a normal type high crit move. Worry Seed prevents the opponent, from sleeping by giving it insomnia. I already have insomnia, so I don't need this in my life. Swords Dance, I think I covered this in previous Pokemon games, but as a refresher, it sharply raises your attack stat 2 levels. Stockpile raises your defense and special defense, but only up to 3 times. So basically you can get a drastic stat raise if you just use this move over and over again. However, if you use any move after this that involves the move Stockpile, like Spit Up or Swallow, then you lose the effects. So it's not really that great. Ooh, Dragon Pulse. I love Dragon Pulse. It's just a Dragon type move that hits, that just does damage. Really nice move. It's not like Dragon Breath, which causes paralysis. So there's that. I'm spending a lot of time discussing these moves with you guys, aren't I? Well, I'm trying to go through this as fast as I can because I don't want to spend this entire episode just discussing moves. Hydro Cannon is a water type version of Hyper Beam. Curse. No, it's not a swear word. It's basically a situational move that works differently for the ghost type Pokemon. See, if used by a ghost type Pokemon, they put a needle in their head to cut their HP and put a curse on whoever they're fighting against. But if another Pokemon uses curse, it cuts their speed stat to raise attack and defense. So yeah, Rain Dance just makes it rain. Helping Hand just means that you help out your opponent in a double battle. Helping Hand helps out your partner Pokemon in a double battle. Kinesis cuts the opponent's accuracy. Charge raises your special defense stat. It didn't do that in previous generations, but now it does in this game, as well as make it so any electric type move used after this does double damage. Mega Kick just is basically Mega Punch, but with your foot. Don't copy me. Anyway, Copycat here just makes it so you use the same move that your opponent used in the previous turn. So if they use Mega Kick and then use Copycat, then you can also use Mega Kick. Double Hit just hits 2 turns in a row. Right? Yeah. Aurora Beam is a weaker ice type, is another weak variation of Ice Beam that cuts the opponent's attack stat. Captivate. Ooh, very lovely move here. That charms your opponent into lowering their special attack stat. It just means it just be all and then it's like, oh, there goes their special attack stat 2 levels. Focus Punch. If you don't get hit when you're using this move, then you'll be able to hit the opponent pretty dang hard. I mean, 150 power, but that's only if you don't get hit in the same turn. Extra Sensory just causes flinching. It also does damage. Weather Ball. I said this in a previous episode that this move is dependent on the weather in the field. Like if it's raining, it turns into a water type move. Hail, if it's hail, turns it into an ice type move. Sunny Day turns it into a fire type move. And although it's not shown in the game at all, but if you use Weather Ball during a sandstorm, then Weather Ball becomes a rock type move. Psycho Boost. Oh, this move carried me in the last randomizer I did. I love this move very much. It hits like really hard as 100. It's one of the strongest psychic type moves in the series. 140 power. Really powerful move. But it also sharply reduces your special attack stat, but it's a bargain there. Psych Up causes you to copy your opponent's any raise stat that your opponent has done, and Thrash just means that you attack 2 to 3 turns in a row, just like the move Outrage. I just spent like almost the entire video discussing that. So because I did all that, we're just gonna speed our way through the next area, battle the trainers as fast as we can, and be on our way out. So here we go. I'm gonna speed up because we already saw these trainer battles with Krysis. So here we go. We're not learning double slap. He's teenager. I'll read just Dawn's text here. Her text is different from Lucas, so I'll read this one here. Hi Sisyrk, are you catching Pokemon? Wow, you've already got 5 Pokemon with you. At your pace, your Pokedex should be full in no time at all. In Jubilife City, there's the trainer school, which, well, you know. Sisyrk, you should visit it. You get some tips on Pokemon. Oh yes, Markus went to the trainer school earlier. Okay, bye now. Fun fact, if you hover over the Pokemon, you see that on the little bar on the side there, how it's flipping around? Yeah, it tells you just like a quickie of how, well, not quickie, like a quick thing, was it, about the Pokemon's stats. So if you want to know what nature they have, over, you can just hover over them and it does that. Like it just does it after a few seconds, or just scroll over them. So that Wartortle has a sassy nature, so just stick it in the PC. And since Sisyrk doesn't want to be outdone by his sister being far ahead of him, he's gonna go ahead and go right to the trainer school. Sisyrk, you should wait for your sister to catch up to you. No way, he says. I want to be ahead of my sister. So he goes. So there he goes into here. Hey Sisyrk, did you come to study too? Wait, I should read his text fast because he's like the impatient one. So, hey Sisyrk, did you come to study too? I went ahead and memorized everything that was up on the blackboard. After all, it's a trainer's job to help boy have them push the Pokemon hard in battle, right? So this is what brings you, huh? Did you have something for me? So we delivered the parcel. So what is this? Score! It's a town map. Huh? Why are there 2 in here? I like it a lot, but I don't need 2. Here, Sisyrk, you take one. So we got a free town map. Well, according to the town map, I guess Oreburgh City is where I should be going next. There's a gym, so it'd be perfect for raising the Pokemon I just caught. Well, I'm on the road to become the greatest trainer of all time. See you around! And he's out. Doing it is the best way to learn. Can we get a battle with you? Sure. Go! My Pokemon, go! So Wayne has a Starmie. Oh, it knows Pluck. That's actually gonna hurt. How? What the Pluck, man? If he uses Pluck again, we'll just switch out to our electric type, right? Okay, the high level. He's slapping me. That's good. That's not good. We survived it. Oh snap, that's how it is then. It's hard to win if you don't have some Pokemon to choose from. I just became friends with my Pokemon. I'm not sure if we can do this properly, but may we battle? Sure. I need to try the things I learned before I forget them. Ooh, Magmar. Oh, that's not good that she knows Belly Drum. That maximized the attack stat, so I think my team is in trouble here. Okay, not really. Got worried for nothing. I like to study a lot. I thought I could win. We were actually confident that we would do pretty good, but I'm completely impressed by how tough you are. If you'd like, talk to my friend and get a technical machine from him. Whew, you're really good. We've been studying every day, but we were no match at all. You'd be able to use this technical machine properly. Here you go. We got TM10. We already saw what that TM is, by the way. A technical machine, or TM for short, contains a Pokemon move. Using a TM, you can instantly teach its move to a Pokemon. But remember, a TM is good for one use only. Don't waste it. That was true up until I think Generation 8, when they reintroduced TMs as TRs, which mean technical records, and they once again became one-time use moves, as opposed to the TMs of Generation 8, which were infinite use. So yeah, there's that. And we already went far over the time because I spent most of the episode talking about the moves. So we're just gonna go ahead and call it there. We're gonna heal up and then, end the episode. This is a good spot to stand. Ah, my hat. There we go. That's how I saved Sisyrk's adventures. So, with all that said and done, thank you all for watching this episode. Remember to like, subscribe, and comment on the videos. I do read the comments and I do heart them to let you know that I read them. And I'll see you guys in the next part when Krysis takes on the trainer school and then goes a little further ahead than her brother here. So with that, take care of yourselves. Don't get sick. Remember, your health is very important to this world, just like you are very important to this world. I'll see you guys later. Much love from Mama Dragon, aka Krysis X2 Light. Take care. Bye bye.